Ascent angle guide for 2025 is finally here. We're gonna go through attack and defense. I'm gonna run through off angles, play styles, usually what you expect when playing each position, and some important things to always look out for. If you don't know, I've taught over 1,000 players. Okay, I've seen a lot of these mistakes repeat over and over again, so listen up and lock in, ladies and gentlemen. I know you guys are so excited. Look at these new changes. Are you kidding me? B isn't wall baitable anymore? That's crazy. Ascent and Icebox are in the queue. Bind and Abyss, get out of here. First up, let's just talk about defending A. Okay, we know we see the one way here. We know we hold this one way. We know we're playing here, but a lot of people forget about this OP angle you can get when this one way is placed. You can get into line. You can play crossfire with your teammate holding here. Or you can tuck and wait for them to come up, kill one. If you have a flash, you can be a flash agent here. You kill one, chuck a flash, re-peek, or you just use your abilities to get out if you have them. This play absolutely cooks. It's a really nice spot to anchor for the team. Anywhere passes, anywhere pushing past here, 9 out of 10 times is throw. The only time you push past here is if it's very heavy mid presence, and we're talking all 5 players, or it's very obviously a B hit. But even then, just grabbing this orb in general, there's too many corners and stuff to worry about. So usually on A, you're playing back here. If you're a duelist, you're playing back here if you have a way to get out or like a flash, something like that. If not, you're playing backside. Now, if you're one of the cringe kids, you know, like the crouch angle lineup where you get teleported on top of these boxes. We're not doing that today, okay? That shit's actually trash, but it makes for good TikTok clips. So instead, I'll just cover it. There's these 2 corners you can play in. 9 out of 10 times you don't want to play in them. I see a lot of elo or elos playing these corners and they are just garbage. Okay, right side is going to be your best friend here. That's because you always have an escape to door, and if you have the chance, you can go tree, but you can go back gen. But a lot of times you're just going to run door after. So you're going to kill one here, you're going to run back door. Now close here is actually really nice. One, because a lot of times the Sova will drone her, Sky will dog here, and it can get broken. And 2, you kind of deny any intel from getting here. The only person that plays here is some brain dead player who doesn't know where else to play. Also, if you have a teammate who's like playing from heaven, you know, you have multiple people in sight, this usually works. But never just play here as a default. A lot of times you're gonna want to be playing closer up. If you're not playing closer up, you're gonna be playing way back side. We're talking like back gen. Here's a really important thing about back gen. There's 2 angles you're looking for here. It's this left side walkout and this right side walkout. Notice how I can isolate right side walkout here. Notice how I can sort of isolate left side walkout here. A lot of times you're holding this walkout angle. Remember that when you're defending a site, think of how the attackers like the path. Okay, when a lot of people want to come out A, you're gonna see this a lot, guys. They're gonna run to the switch. They want to close this door. So a lot of people take this left side. People honestly don't take right side because of this heaven angle that's really cooked. So generally they're either going to door or they're running up. So this gen spot, really nice to hold the right side walk up. It's also really nice if you want to hold it from back here hell as well. You can also do the same thing. You'll play right side hell, hold the walkout up here. Walkout angles are OP, guys. People are not playing these enough. Another thing you can do is, you know how to silent jump? That's when you crouch, jump, and then uncrouch. You can see I make no noise instead of making a bunch of noise like this. You can see the auto ring going crazy. So you can get intel A main. This is kind of a niche scenario. You really don't need intel like this, but there are certain times where it's next spot is just gonna be dice, like straight up dice. Same thing, walking angle. These walking angles on A are OP. If you're not someone who has like an ability when they come out, you're not prepared to do any sort of play, it's just not going to be good for you. You need to have something here. And if you don't have something, that's where the walking angles come in. If you're instead playing like a flash agent, I would honestly suggest playing the walking angle and then flashing and then going for another. Okay, it's still good enough. It's still good enough. You usually want to get one because then everyone's going to look at you. Once you kill the one, they're going to be like, oh shit, there's a guy dice, let me look at him. And then you chuck the flash and they're all blind. So that's the beauty of that. This angle is not terrible. It's actually not that bad. People think they get shot from main like super easily here, but if you have to give up cat or your teammate's holding the other angle, it's like usually we hold cat from there and someone holds a main from here. This is kind of a weird setup, but it's a really nice kind of crossfire to have. You know, let's say one comes out a main, they kill one there, and now they come out and they try to kill a guy. Peeking from there isn't bad. It is a pretty risky spot. There's not a lot that you can get away with, but it's actually a pretty covered spot and a lot of people don't even expect it. So So it's a nice spot. We'll talk more about that on attack. That box is nice. Besides that, guys, there's like nothing here. There's like nothing. Again, flash agent come out here. Sometimes you can get away with the walk at angle from here. This one's a little weird because angle advantage. So if you hold it from like here, the angle advantage is so cooked that they're just going to see you in this corner. Let me see if I can give you a little show here. You can see my side is just like completely sticky on the further back I go, the worse it is. Even though right here, it looks like I'm completely covered. So if I'm like back here trying to hold this walk at angle, it's cooked. Even back here, they're going to see way before. So you kind of have to like play back, wait for them to walk up, maybe wait for them to tap the switch. Remember we talked about the switch pathing. Look out for that, baby. And that's pretty much all A, guys. That's honestly all of A. So key positions is like Gen, Dice, this corner, not too shabby. And then if you want to play like some team angles, it's that and that. There you go. Some other good ones are like main, and I mean that's just Ascent, baby. That's just Ascent. If you're holding from tree, there's a few spots. This one, not too shabby. A lot of players expect this, but I think in lower elos you can get away with it easy peasy. If you're in higher elos, I would not suggest tucking in the corner like this. Higher elo, the strat is to play an off angle, or an off-on angle, like that, an off angle actually. I don't even know how to say it, but you're playing off angle, but you're like off the off angle. So it's a double off angle, which neutralizes it, which makes it an off angle in higher rank. Just take it. So you kind of play more back here. You hold this angle, so when people come around the corner, they're like, oh, okay, nothing here. Let me check this pot now. All of a sudden, you're over here. So there you go. Right side there, not too bad. Another spot, not too bad, is again off angle here. Unless you're positive they're not going to clear you, or you have a teammate like clearly baiting for you right here, you do not want to tuck in these corners a lot of times, guys. You just don't want to, because if you get cleared properly, like any player clears you properly here, you're just cooked. You're just cooked. So I would always suggest playing a little bit off, or when you hear them walking up, go from being in the corner. You hear them like walking up right here, go for being in the corner, just to swing out a little wider. Just swing out. You do want the jump here. I'm thinking of my flash agents again, like the kill into a flash is really nice. The other spot you can play here is up. You can get them with the crossover to, I think people call this Gen. I don't really know. But that little corner there, you can also catch them on the walk up. It's also an off angle if you play from like here when they come up cat, or you can go from up here and catch them a bit earlier. That's pretty much it. The number one mistake I see for A is people don't pay attention to cat or mid. So an A player, specifically the cat player, should always be aware if they're sneaking up cat. I see a lot of this is, oh my gosh, I'm getting like PTSD from all the people I've coached who were just, oh yeah, they're going A, let me just look towards A, and then like their cat's completely open. Remember that from bottom mid, you can't actually see cat if it's like smoked off. Most people aren't going to comment, and if you want to see cat, you have to like a hella peek to actually see this, right? If I want to see cat from here, I have to go all the way down here and expose myself really deeply, and then like worry about that now. So blah blah blah, pay attention to cat, guys. The cat timing is really important. If you like kill him on sight and you don't know where the last one is, 9 out of 10 times he's cat. Okay, trust me on this one. 9 out of 10 times he's the next like flank timing. That's a germ guarantee right there. 99.9. Next up is mid. You don't really have a lot for mid. The best spot's probably right side, because this isn't baneable here. This is baneable here. The common count or play you see here is like a dart here, or like a dart here. So make sure you have a teammate who's like kind of prepared to break it. If not, get ready to get the heck out, or just know if they've done it. You know, if you're like 5 rounds in the game, they haven't done that dart yet, you can kind of get away with it. But this right side angle is also really good because you can jump on top of this. You can see over some smokes, see him run up to cat here. It's also a little bit of an off angle, which isn't bad. I would never really suggest like going mid late unless you know there's no one here. Like again, 5 people be main, okay, let's do it. But like watch out for the lurkers big time on this map, because if they're lurking a main or top mid here, you're at a big disadvantage. Big disadvantage. Pizza's okay. Actually, pizza's trash. Don't play pizza. Usually you see like jump peeks here. You see a dart be sent top mid, or you just see like people just peek this out of the start round. Little side note, if you're opping top mid, instead of holding this angle, if you're in higher elo, hold on top of the box here. People jump peek this angle, they think they're smart. They're dead. If they don't do it, this is the easiest flick of the century, okay? Easiest flick of the century, and then peek out wider. So that's pretty much all in mid. Mid's pretty simple. If they get stuck in this area, it gets really awkward. Just remember their goal, only thing they can do here is go through market. So there's no harm of like giving up mid a little and playing further back market, or just like jumping over mid like this. There's some mid players that is really bad for your cat player, we talked about earlier. So it's always nice to have some like intel towards mid. You can see that dart. Wow, that's actually a beautiful dart. I just made that up. But yeah, you can see how important intel is in mid. By the way, if you're on attacking, you can abuse the hell out of this. Either way, everything I say, just consider it and then abuse it on the opposite side. That's pretty much how it works. Hold on. Before we go over to B, let me show you the meta agents on Ascent and the most common mistakes I see here. So first off, most common mistake is people get stuck in A main and B main like crazy. They don't do splits, they don't touch mid. That is the solution. If you get stuck in mains, if you can't push out sight, literally all it takes sometimes is like one smoke and then the entire team gets stuck A main and you're just like, okay, now what? So going for split pushes is a really good idea. Going for mid control is an even better idea. Okay, mid's a really open spot. I talked about how hard it is to peek towards cat, and all it takes is like a smoke cat or a smoke bottom mid to instantly cut off the sightlines of the defenders. So really look out for that. The other thing you don't see enough of is people really ratting around these smokes, right? These smokes are really strong if you're defending and they go really aggressive. You just sit in these, and a lot of times people are so aggressive on these mains that they just run into your smoke. You're sitting there with like a shorty, they are cooked. Absolutely cooked. Besides that, let's talk meta agents here, baby. Ascent is a really good map for Astra, but you don't see her. So your most common rundown on this map is going to be Omen. You're going to see Jet, and then you're going to get a little bit of Cypher action, a little bit of Killjoy action too. Me personally, I'm a Killjoy player in this map. You know, I think she's really strong, a little bit stronger than Cypher. And then your Initiator, you know, you used to see Sova. We'll see how this changes, because you know those Sovas love that B main we're about to get into. But next up, we really commonly see KO, usually a secondary pick. And then the last one's kind of whatever. It's like a second duelist like Raze. It's a double initiator like Sky KO. But I'd also throw some other agents to look at, like Phoenix. Farming his ult is so free on attack. Brimstone is also really strong. Breach also has insane utility for here. Let me move KO as a primary, because this is really like the meta comp you've been seeing in pro play for so long, and it works really easily in ranked. The reason is there's like a mid default you can do. I talked about getting mid control. A lot of pros do this mid default where they knife cat and they dart bottom mid and instantly get mid control, and it's literally insane. You can't break it, can't do anything. You can knife at the start of A main, you can knife outside or dart outside B at the start and just get like instant intel. It's just like, it's intel city on this map basically, and if you don't have intel, you're cooking yourself, and if you're not going for mid control, you're cooking yourself. It's really as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go back to B. Anyways, here's the B change. This thing isn't even baneable anymore. Absolutely sucks for Sova. They didn't even make it so you can really bane this. Or they made it so you can bane this still, which actually isn't that bad. So like you can knight this and then you can bane people through here still. Actually not the worst change in the world, to be honest, but it's just like start a round. You see that they're like purposely blocking it. See how the barrier's right there? I can't bane spawn from a lot higher than that stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cooked. You can still Swordless payment, but it's way more risky. Everything else is pretty much garbage. They kept this spray here. B main's pretty much played two ways. It's kind of the same as A main, like very similar. You can duelist fight it. This is just like wine. You can play this close corner, but there's really not much else going on here. This isn't an off angle, by the way. This is your off angle here. You want to play the off angle because it's just better. If you have your teammate here, then you can play the corner. You want to have someone who can bait for you. A lot of times in this situation, it's going to make your play a lot stronger. Okay, because they're gonna zero brain cells, 0 second attention span nowadays, so you want to have something to distract them. Okay, they'll see the player there and they'll be like, oh, there's a player there, let me just peek like this, and then you'll be sitting there with your knife out getting 3 kills. So just keep that up. Same with logs. Like a lot of these spots, Ascent's been out for so long, man, so a lot of these spots like lower elo players love and you can get away with sometimes, but mid-high, you really want to pay attention to what you tell the enemy's using. I mean, even if you're low elo, that's not too late to start this habit. You can play these corners. Let's say they don't have a drone, they don't have a dog, they don't have any form of intel, like Cypher camera, whatever. Even if they do have Cypher camera, like, do they actually use it for sight and to clear close corners? I mean, probably not, okay? Not even in my lobbies do they do that. So you just got to pay attention to what they're using to clear sight before you all of a sudden play these really ratty positions. Like if Omen flashes this at the start of every round, going in this corner is just stupid, because they're going to come out fast every time. Kind of hard to dodge the flash. If you know how to dodge them, you're like on this back lane, you're not playing the corner. So bada beam, bada boom. This is a big map for just learning what to do. If you notice you don't do it, this spot is really nice. This corner is really nice. Another good spot is this one here. Both these spots are solid as heck. But realistically, you're playing like stairs. Stairs is the most common position. If you're going to throw any piece of utility when you're attacking B, it should be on stairs. The other really common spot, which is the God spot, that once people know about, they just don't stop playing here. And the fact that this isn't bannable actually helps this player a butt ton. Because it used to get spammed quite a bit. But it's playing here. So if I'm like on this left side right here, let me just pop my drone again. You just can't see me. Like you see how covered? I have to peek from right here to even see a glimpse of my guy. So that's pretty far. So you're playing like the peek angle here. You're letting the stairs guy, market guy, CT guy, any of you guys can take contact, or you're shooting like a dart above them. You can spray them through this wall if they go up deep, or you can shoot them there. So all this stuff is broken. All this stuff is really broken. Literally anything here, as long as you keep your life is really good. You could also get a kill here, have a shorty as a backup. When they come in to get the trade and they're really pissed, you just jump shorty in. Okay, this spot is actually broken. This is probably like a 5 KD spot if played correctly. The next spot, the Ascent like meta here is to play lane. You go here and you either do the shorty play, but like realistically you're gonna get one here and then you're gonna fall back and you're just gonna go backside. Backside's like a beautiful spot. Again, you don't play the off angle here in the corner, it's bad. You play the off angle. I like to watch this walk up angle here because it cuts this right side off completely. No one can cross on this right side. So you drop down from lane, you hit them, or if they start coming out here, you can shoot them there. And you have a lot more timing here as well. So yeah, usually play right side, back side. Another decent spot is like back here. This is more so you can play this corner and you can be, you're pretty safe. You're pretty safe here. So yeah, not too bad. That's pretty much B. I mean, you can do some stuff. You guys want to parkour, you can parkour on top of these boxes. You can play this backside. You can hold stairs from here. This is more like a post-plant spot. I'm spoiling attack a little, but yep, that's pretty much that. Not a lot of cool spots you can play here. There's barrel. No one plays barrel. Barrel's a pretty bad spot to play, but if you feel it, you know it exists, go for it. I'm not gonna hold you hostage. Another cool Ascent thing, you can chuck your gun through that and break it. You can do that if bullets. And that's pretty much all the defense, guys. Let's just go back to A. Alright, real quick before we hop into attack, I want to talk about space. A lot of people have this misconception about how to take space. So I'm going to simplify it for babies, okay? You show this to your little brother, your little sister, your newborn child, and they will understand this. As an attacker, you always own space at the start of the round. It's basically where the barriers are. So we own all this space here. When we're pushing towards B, the defenders also have their own space. They basically own all the site, okay? Right where the barriers are. And then there's the area in between. This is the key area. This is what we call contested space, okay? Contested space. Both players fight for the space at the start of the round. And by the way, this goes for pretty much anywhere. I look over at A and it's the same exact thing. So it's really important to understand this idea of what space you own, what space the enemy owns, but also what space you're contesting for, what space you're fighting for. This is why it's so important that we get like an Omen Flash early here, or a Fade Dog around the corner, or a Sova drone around the corner. It's really important to have pieces of utility to cover this space so we get the contested space for free and we can pressure site further. So once you own the space, then you can start to look towards site, and a lot of the attack stuff is going to matter. I mention this because I see it so many times that people push into this main without any utility and they get absolutely fried. They just walk into the open here to a one-way, or they just push into a smoke. And like I mentioned earlier about defense, you can just get fried in smokes. People just sit in smokes and you will get cooked. So having some sort of utility, or considering that people can fight you here and it's not a free game and you can't just pull knife out. You can't just ADHD your 1 in 3 and then get shotgun and be like, why did my Sova not drone there? So you need to be aware of this contested space. You need to make sure something's being used for it, either your teammates or you. And if nothing's being used, you have to be way more careful with the space. You have to think about what they have. For example, I am Neon here and I'm pushing A by myself. Okay, I do my little jump peek around the corner. I see nothing, deep main. But they have a Phoenix on the other team, and Phoenix likes to play A main. So what I'm doing is expecting a flash here. So I jump peek, make some noise. I'm a lot slower in scaling this space. I want to bait out the flash. Phoenix throws a flash, I hide, I re-peek, Phoenix is dead. Another example is I jump peek this quarter, and instead of doing that, I assume there's a chance, that's the keyword here, chance, that there's a guy here. So I throw a stun, and then I scale up fast to catch the stun player. This is how you counter, this is how you take space, considering your enemy's abilities, and just considering that, hey, there might be people here, maybe I shouldn't play with the one hand, if you know what I mean. Anyways, let's go to attack. Ascent is a really good initiating. We're talking like anyone who can clear angles like Fade, Sova, Dog, or Sova, Sky, Teho, any of these like drone type abilities, because it's really helpful to have them at the start of the round. Just chuck them over, clear this close one. You always clear this close aggro. If there's a smoke here, you're like ultra clearing it and making sure no one's here. Notice how you check all the angles there, and then you tell your team that close is clear once you do this. If you don't know what close is, it's the close area. So it basically means, okay, nothing close left, close right, nothing behind that box. So all your team knows that they can focus sight, or it's going to be like the tree smoke. There's your little lesson. If you want to do faster, there's some faster stuff. I'm on Sova. I don't really know what agents everyone plays. Feel free to let me know. But a lot of this stuff is similar. If you're on like Jet, you can throw like a one-way smoke here when you come out, if you don't have like an initiator doing something. The one-way this also really good to do something to counter it pretty quickly. One thing I like to do is silent jump in the smoke. You do this by running, shifting, jumping. Makes no sound. And then you can flash out of the smoke here. And if you throw the flash, it depends on the flash agent, but like a lot of them you can chuck it deeper here to like really push back this player, and then you jump out with it and push him back. Now that's pretty much here, guys. You just clear this close here. As long as you peek at the start of the round, the wind timing doesn't exist. If you take too long to peek, the wind timing does exist. If you one-way it, be very careful with the wind timing. Okay? When you go outside, we're going to start caring about angles a lot more, because this is basically where everyone teaches you how to clear angles. So easiest way to think about it is just think about the angles where people are playing at. I'll just show you this in Valoplant, and then I'll show you it in game. So when I think about attacking A, I kind of talked about, it's basically like close right, close left, and then I'm going to put this in a box for us. And then I'm going to throw a smoke that we just expect. Don't smoke heaven, doesn't do much for this. And then there's two other dangers. There's like close here, and then there's like hell/heaven. And I also like to box these, because these are all kind of separate entities you have to clear. And I'm going to ignore like this close box. You should be aware of it, but it's not going to affect you. Germ guarantee right there. That's a germ guarantee. Oh, I didn't even finish. So when we box up the site like this, it becomes a lot easier to think about how we clear it, right? So if I'm Sova, I can throw a drone here. Should I use a different agent? If I'm Gecko, I throw flash here. If I'm not initiated and I Jet, I can throw smoke here and then dash into it, and then when I dash out, I like clear right side. If I'm Neon, maybe I just want to focus this right side, I can chuck my wall right side, or I can chuck it left side. Okay, it's really just like pick your poison, but as long as you isolate one of these sections with your abilities or what you intend to do, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm still haven't gotten to the main point, which is what is angle clearing. When people talk of slicing the pie, it's basically not overexposing yourself to more than one of these angles at once. So a good example of it is, go back to game. A good example is if we wanted to clear this close right, if we peeked it like this, we'd be exposing to both this corner and this corner. Not so good. Not even to mention all the other. So it's important to basically break down the site. So what's the first thing you can break down when you can do it? It's basically just like the early peaks. So you kind of look here at first, and then you look a bit forward, and then you look here. Oh, I just screwed that up. Hold on, I'll fix it for you guys. Don't worry. Everyone relax. Relax, I got you. And then you go to the next spot where they can most commonly be holding you from, which is right side dice, and then left side dice. And then like, sure, you can worry about heaven here too. You worry about heaven. And you can see there's a lot of arrows coming down here, and most times you're not going to break it down, but that's just kind of what it looks like. And then we clear these as much as we can, and then let me get rid of all of this, because that's like the first part. And the next part's like here, and then here, and then here, and then now you like scale up, and then you clear this one, and then you wrap here and you clear heaven. Okay, I'll show you what this looks like. It looks a lot of confusing with the arrows. It's basically just like, what's the next spot someone can be holding you from? So here's the first one we talked about. Here's right side dice we talked about. Here's left side dice we talked about. Here's heaven we talked about. Right side gen, left side gen. About clearing this close left corner. Then we talk about clearing this right side corner, and the other right side corner, and then around here. And then we talk about clearing gen, clearing dice, and then wrapping around here, teleporting. You just cleared all the site, my friend. Good job. Good job. Very few players do it. So that's what you're looking at when you're clearing a site. I don't know if that's helpful at all to you guys. I hope it is. But that's basically all of it. That's what you want to think about for A. When we talk post plant, on top of here is underplayed. Another really nice spot. If you know they're heaven, there's not one tree. Even sometimes if there is one tree, you can play from here. It's a really nice spot. No one spams, no one pays attention to it. Some other good spots is like in front of these boxes here. More of a headshot angle. You can easily duck behind hell very easily. You see a lot of people on gen. If you're defending and you're retaking, expect a gen player 9 out of 10. If you guys want to learn how to like get up heaven really easily, make this jump really easily, feel free to let me know. I don't know if you guys want like a movement guide or something, but I can definitely do that. I can strafe backwards. I swear I'm qualified. So yeah, we can do that. Let's talk about mid now. So if you peek from top mid, there's really nothing here. I talked about this jump peek. This jump peek's really good when you expect an opper. Probably another movement guide then if you guys need it. Just jump peek mid, see if anyone's there. No one's there, you can continue your peek. Very commonly you see the cat peek. So when you come out mid, I'm just like jumping around. When you come out mid, you're basically expecting this early peek, checking cat, and then checking this one right here. This is like the market peek. And then you can scale up, just holding your cat, be careful of cat. And then it becomes kind of awkward here because you're like starting to expose yourself to this one. Then you check this, the top of box, and then close here. And then you kind of want to be wary of this. When we scale up here, we clear this. You don't realize it, but you cross into this guy's thing. Even with smokes down, you can still see over it, depending on the smoke. A lot of players just hold the smoke or they throw a smoke. I'll show you guys the smoke. I'm talking about it too much to not show you the smoke. So I did it like a little deeper out here because it blocks this player and it also blocks him from looking over it like this. So you basically have it free. Yeah, it gives them a bit more space, and you wouldn't really bring it this far out. A little far out is good enough. See how like the top is like all the way up here? So if I do like the default smoke and do it right on the corner, you can see the peak is right here, but it goes down a little here, so this player can see over. Thus, this player can get shot from here. There you go. There you go. Now you got visualization. I hope that helped too. Hey, let me know. But yeah. We're going to cat here, so we cleared all these close angles, and then it's the same thing. Oh, I forgot to show you one defense angle. Actually, heck it. I'll show you now. I'll just show you now. There's a really nice angle here. I showed this off last time. You basically go on like the corner of this wood thing, just jump in W. It's like a smallest tap of W, and then you tap your A a little to get it down. If you do it right, it'll look like this. So you'll be blocked here, but if you crouch, you can actually have like an option over here. It's kind of cool one. It's a kind of cool one. Yeah. This sounds kind of fun. So yeah, when you peek here, look up here because expect to play there. 9 times out of 10, germ guarantee right here. They're going to be in that corner. You smoke this here, and then we worry about the flower player. You can full clear this flower player, and then you're worried about the side angle, which is here. And then we're looking towards main. If your teammates are coming out main, you're kind of checking those same 2 dangers we talked about earlier. You would check this one here when we come out. Don't forget about that one. But then you like look towards heaven and check this, and then you look gen, boom, boom, and then you do the same kind of scale we did before. So like once you learn this stuff, it becomes kind of combinational. You can modular. That's the word. Modular. You can just kind of put them together and they work the same. If you're going mid here, a lot of people ask this question like, how do I take on a 50-50 angle? This was a thing on Ascent, was a big thing on this map too. Because if you peek either of these corners, you're guaranteed to be killed by the other one, right? That's what a lot of people think. The answer is to put your butt against the back wall and just do a jiggle peek with the shot. If you've watched my plat routine, you know about the little dead zone you can do. You can fire a dead zone shot here, or you can just shoulder peek. So this is what it would actually look like. You would shoulder pick this corner, maybe fire a shot. Just get in, get out as soon as possible. You don't want to expose yourself to the corner, you can just do a jiggle here, or a shoulder peek here. My shoulder is being exposed to this guy here, being teased to him. And what this might do is cause this player to kind of panic shoot you here, and you'll find out he's there. If not, you have one teammate who clears this side, the other one clears this side. Kind of uncommon. Or you can just jump peek it like this, oh my gosh, but it's a lot. It's honestly too much. A lot of people just do this. They just choose one and they gamble, and they try not to over peek. Then we clear pizza. We always smoke top mid. And that's done. And then make sure when you clear this, you look towards switch here. And once you get to the spot, you have to look on this left side. A lot of people forget to look on this left side. They forget about this off angle especially, and they get cloaked on top of the box. It sometimes happens. A lot of times it's this. Okay, and then we pat that site, and we're basically combining with another one. And then we're combining with another one right here. So I'll just show you from B. That's pretty much it. If you peek towards tiles, you know, don't. I'm not going to show the data, but if you peek from tiles here, you're basically guaranteed a loss. And it's just really unfavorable odds. Out of like 100 fights, the player who gets the kill majority of times is the cat player. It's just not a good fight to take in general. So a lot of times smoking cat is your default. Asking for a smoke cat is mandatory if you're going through tiles. Because your main goal is to scale it mid here. So yeah, tiles, you don't really do the same. That same path thing we just did. Here's the thing for attack. A lot of people think these orbs are like free now. They're really not. They really aren't. They're like, oh, they can't spam me through the B main orb. What are you talking? Like, the amount of times I've played this map and someone spammed me through this B main for this B main orb is like, I could count it on one hand, and I only have 3 fingers. It was actually, it's absolutely insane. It's basically the exact same. I wish they fixed this orb grab so it wasn't so awkward where I can't just hold it down. Like, how long has this been in the game? This map's been out since beta, and this is still a problem. This game's absolutely so cooked. Anyways, besides that, yeah, you're basically careful of the close angle here. This orb isn't free because you can still fight B main, and it's still the same exact fight that happens B main, so nothing really changes at all with these orbs. You're careful of the B main aggression. If you counter the B main aggression, you control the space, then you can grab it. I'll show you what that looks like. Thank you for asking. The first thing you do is peek main. If you don't know the P protocol being, a lot of people explain it here. You basically want to peek in a straight line. You don't want to peek against the wall because you're pushing against the wall. I don't know. Anyways, you pre-aim through the wall, you line up the shot, you take the shot. If you don't see him here, check the off angle. This is not a bad spot to do like multiple clears to go, because he can be on any of these, especially like a jet or something. No reason not to break it down, even for this corner. Notice how I hug the back wall in a lot of these situations as often as I can. Hug the back wall. Against this player, you'll have the angle advantage here, and if they're in that corner being stupid, which a lot of people in your elo probably do, it's really good to do. Okay, so once we do that, we go here. They're probably gonna drop like a B main smoke, so you have to be really careful grabbing this orb. If they don't drop a B main smoke, you are pretty much free and clear to grab this. You cleared close. Yes, they can peek left side. If the smoke is down, you're taking a risk because they can like flash through the smoke. They can peek out this backside and isolate you there. So you want to be a bit careful of that. It's a little tip as well for my controller mains out there. You can definitely get free kills like this. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for early B main. Let's do the angle thing, the danger thing as well as here. So I want you to look at this and just tell me where all the dangers are. And it's basically all the spots I told you from before. So good job. You throw this, these smokes, and then these are your dangers. B is a little more like tricky, especially default, but we'll do our best here just to, I would section these all separate things. And I'm just going to make close all one thing because it basically is. Yeah. So when you're coming on site, the pathing's a little awkward, but we talked about like how you isolate your angles. You look at this danger first. I know I didn't put a danger there. Or I guess we start back. No, let's just go to site. You saw what I did. You go here, and then you kind of look towards CT and stairs. And then you hug this back wall and you look lane. And if nothing's lane, then you can probably continue here. And then check that corner. And then you check the other corner, and then you're kind of killed by the stairs player, and then you can choose to path towards site and clear the stairs player, or you can choose to go lane. It's a little awkward. We're going to do the stairs one because it's just going to flow a little bit nicer. With all the arrows, I'm not going to lie, it looks so messy. In game, it'll clean up just fine. Then you're looking towards it to red. Keep this nice and organized for you guys. Look towards back site, look towards here, continue to scale up. Let's just say look towards back site, and then you look in this corner, and then it's kind of awkward, but we're just going to take this right side, clear this, and then look towards back site, and then clear all the back site. Okay, that's going to be our pathing. It's a little bit awkward, but we're checking all the dangers. So we're going towards site. There's that first angle I told you about. There's the second angle. That's kind of another angle, but then it's like stairs, and then you check this, whatever, and then you check lane here, check deeper lane, and then you can take this side here, but we did this, which is kind of awkward, but still isolates from that guy, so not that bad. Clear this, and now we're going towards stair. We're hugging this because we're isolated from market. It's actually not a bad post plant spot too. But yeah, now we're going towards stairs. There's the back site. There's the other back site. I wasn't sure if that was open or not. It's there. Then you check this corner. So you can see there's a lot of angles to break down, and most of it's going to come from experience. I would really suggest you just do what I'm doing in customs and be like, okay, if I'm going back site, what's the first angle? Where have I seen players in my game? I mean, I'm like, yep, they're holding back site, left side back site maybe. I mean, even default here, left side default, and then this corner, definitely. And then we kind of continue this where we go here, and then we check this left side here, and then we go here. Okay, make sure you check this, which we do when we look here. Okay, just keep that in mind. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like, that's the best I can give you. The reason I said default's so hard to play around is because good defenders will like hide but they would like hide here, isolate stairs, or when you come up lane, they'll peek out from the side. And then when they hear you running up and like drop down, they'll hide here, kill your teammate, and then peek out on you after you drop. It's like good players know how to play around default here. Pretty wild. Post plant positions, I talked about this one. That's not that bad. You can hold an off angle for stairs. I mean, kind of an off angle for lane. I like this one better. Isolate stairs. Most stairs players wouldn't expect that, but it's really like an off angle for lane. If you end up coming up. If a person from Riot is watching this, please make it so we can one-way these. I don't know why this isn't something you can do. You can do this on Omen. I don't get why it's not a placeable, and I don't get why it would push it down on the ground. Also make sure when you go sites that you close the doors, especially if you're like going through mid. It just cuts off an entire lane. A lot of like good post plant positionings comes down from how you isolate the remaining threats. So if I have this door closed, I can play lane a lot more comfortably from here. I can play off my teammate's contact from here. I can play this closed door position here. I can play, I mean, even here isn't the best, but it's something. We have like a trip flank. We can all look CT. It instantly changes your post plant. This spot's still really broken. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all Ascent, guys. I don't know what to tell you. You're still watching. I don't know what you're doing. But if you watched this far, you'll probably want to check out my stream. I do coaching there. We do scrims every week. The beautiful subs on Ko-Fi. If you want to join in on scrims, check out the Ko-Fi. If you want to check out my coaching, check out the Ko-Fi. All those links are in the description. Everything you could ever want and need is in there. I guarantee you. I've been playing this game for 5 years. I've coached 1,000 players. It's pretty much as simple as that, ladies. Anyways, that's it from your spooky ghost boy. Bye.